back at it again. And, in today's society, you're labeled one of those, names, of course. The left loves their labels, which absolutely mean nothing these days. I think we need to start standing up to when the left, labels us and just say, yeah, sure, I am that, because the labels don't mean anything. Not to say that, we are hateful individuals, because that's what they're trying to paint us as, but those labels mean nothing. They try to label anybody and everybody that disagrees with them, a ish, the phobe, a denier, or, conspiracy theorists, or they love the label. So at this point, from now on, I think we should all lean into the labels. Just lean into them, because it's gotten ridiculous at this point. So just start leaning into it. They want to call you some type of label. Like, yeah, sure, I am that. Yep. Because we all know they mean nothing, right? Like I said, not to say that we are hateful individuals, but just to get rid of this stupid, we're going to throw a label on you, Okay, sure, go ahead. Yep, sure am that, and it's led to, one of the things that has led to is the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I'll let you guys be the judge on whether or not DEI is a great policy. I want you guys to watch this clip and you tell me. This is Biden's FAA nominee, Federal Aviation Administration. I believe that's what the FAA stands for. This is Biden's nominee, right? Federal Aviation, planes, all that good stuff. Yeah. I want y'all to be the judge. This guy could potentially be getting paid six figures, $150,000 plus. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and let's dive in.
Not sure I can answer that question right now.
That's okay. We'll just keep going.
Sorry, Senator, I cannot answer that question. Well, thank you for the question, Senator. I'm not a pilot. So, again, Senator, I'm not a pilot. I don't want to guess on that, Senator.
Now, you've been nominated to lead an agency with authority to regulate aircraft, airspace, and airmen. The U.S. has some of the most complex airspace in the world. I mean, we've got over 200,000 registered aircraft, more than 1 million pilots in our country, and over 45,000 flights per day handled by ATC. Now, with recent issues under the Biden administration, from the flight disruptions over Christmas, the NOTAM, or the Notice to Air Missions ground stop, and the recent near miss incidents in New York, Texas, and just yesterday in Boston, my colleagues and I were concerned about the many or several parts.
Near misses. Listen, I've never been on a plane, because me and Heights, we had a beef a long time ago, and we haven't gotten along since. Like, me and Heights, we do not get along at all, okay? So I've never gotten on a plane, I'm afraid of that Heights brother, he scares me. But this kind of stuff scares me even more. Near misses. Now, I don't know exactly what near means in the aviation world, but I don't want to be on one of those planes and find out. Okay? I'm sure y'all don't either. But let's carry on.
Of your background and your lack of aviation experience. Now, there's many new regulations that the FAA...
Hold on, what do you say?
We're concerned about the many or several parts of your background and your lack of aviation experience.
Lack.
Now, there's many new regulations that the FAA has issued or is in process of developing. Here's one, for instance. The FAA is spending billions of dollars on its next-gen program, as you're aware, to modernize the national airspace system. A key part of this update is moving towards GPS navigation for pilots and ATC. Now, as part of this transition, the FAA recently required airplanes to be equipped with an ADS-B transponder. So, Mr. Washington, can you quickly tell me what airspace requires an ADS-B transponder? Quickly, please.
Thank you for the question, Senator. Not sure I can answer that question right now.
That's okay. We'll just keep going. So that's a pretty important part. But another question. You've said that your national security background, and again, I appreciate your military experience there, but you say that's prepared you for this role. It's okay. The FAA has classified airspace to meet the needs of airports, air traffic, and also national security. The FAA has also designated special use airspace over DoD bases critical to national security. So what are the 6 types of special use airspace that protect this national security that appear on FAA charts? Quickly, please.
Sorry, Senator, I cannot answer that question.
Okay, what is?
That's Biden's FAA nominee, who he chose to lead the FAA. Can't answer. Now listen, I can't answer those questions either, but I'm not trying to get the job. Nor would I ever try to get that job. Like, even if Trump was in office, he was like, hey, yo, Rich, you want to lead the I can't even talk. You want to lead the FAA? Like, hey, listen, Trump, I'm happy you're in office, but, I'd take another job. But that one, give that to somebody who's been in that field for many, many years that can actually lead that crew. I'm definitely turning that down. I don't get these folks, man. I really don't.
Just keep going. So thank you.
Sure.
Since World War II, the FAA has required pilots to have a valid medical certificate. I've got one. In recent years, the FAA has relaxed these standards through the introduction of the Sport Pilot Certificate and also Basic Med. It's been a great success. More than 70,000 pilots in the last 6 years have used Basic Med to maintain their flying privileges. So what are the limit? It comes with some limitations. So what are the operational limitations of a pilot flying under Basic Med?
Well, thank you for the question, Senator. I'm not a pilot, so.
But obviously you'd oversee the Federal Aviation Administration. So any idea what those restrictions are under Basic Med, quickly?
Well, some of the restrictions I think would be high blood pressure. Some of them would be.
It's more like how many passengers per airplane, how many pounds in different categories, and what altitude you can fly under. So, and then amount of knots. It's under 250 knots. So, it's not having anything to do with blood pressure. So, let's keep going here. It's aviation. Yeah, I've heard you talk about aviation and safety, and it being a particular concern of yours. I appreciate that. Stall spin accidents are a particular concern for general aviation safety advocates. Accidents involving an unintentional stall account for nearly 25% of fatal aviation accidents. And these happen at...
I know this isn't the most entertaining content in the world. I get it, guys. I understand that. But I think it's important that we do highlight these types of things. Otherwise, they will happen more often. Okay? So I just wanted to acknowledge that, because I know this isn't like the, like I said, most entertaining, stuff in the world. But it's very, very important. Not only for the FAA, in apparently these near misses that we've been having midair. Goodness gracious. Whew. Y'all be safe out there in them planes. Please. Sheesh Louise. But this spills over into other areas as well. I mean, look at Pete. What good has Pete done? Zero. Nothing. Nothing. Look at Kamala. She's supposed to be the border czar. What has she done with the border? Nothing. So we have to be outraged and speak out, just like the left speaks out when they feel, well, they always, are in their feelings. But we need to be outraged and speak out, just like the left does. And this is one of those moments, in my humble opinion. We can't allow stuff like this to happen. We just can't. This is putting people's lives at risk. This guy has no clue. I'm just gonna keep playing it. Just listen. Just listen.
Spins at low speed and low altitude, and they're particularly dangerous. Can you tell me what causes an aircraft to spin or to stall?
Again, Senator, I'm not a pilot, but I would lean on our career employees and our safety folks within the FAA.
Okay, let's keep going. So we mentioned just recently, Senator before me mentioned the 737 MAX issues. So there are many questions surrounding the FAA's aircraft certification process. 2 years ago, Congress passed a major reform package to address these concerns. It's now up to FAA to implement these laws by issuing regulations and monitoring compliance. Mr. Washington, what are the 3 aircraft certifications the FAA requires as part of the manufacturing process? Quickly, please. 3 aircraft certifications.
Again, what I would say to that is that one of my first priorities would be to fully implement that Certification Act and report.
You know the
back
3
to this
types,
committee.
Mr. Washington? The 3
No.
types? Okay. Yeah, that's type certificate, production certificate, and airworthiness certificate. Okay. All right. Let's just keep going, see if we can get lucky here. All right. So just since January, the U.S. has narrowly averted 3 aviation disasters. On 3 separate occasions, airplanes came dangerously close to
What month?
Has narrowly averted. Just since January, the U.S. has narrowly averted 3 aviation disasters. On 3 separate occasions, airplanes came dangerously close to colliding on runways at New York JFK, Austin Bergstrom, and the Boston Logan Airport. The Austin incident reminded me of the Tenerife accident.
So, correction. These near misses weren't mid-air. They were on the runway, which is a bit safer. It's a bit safer. You're on ground, okay? But depending on, the situation, if like a plane was coming in to land, still got a bit of speed. If it runs into another plane, obviously that could be catastrophic. Still though, what is going on? Part of me feels like we're literally being destroyed from within. From within. It's not the outside forces. I mean, they've influenced, this is just my opinion. I don't have any, inside information or anything. This is just my humble opinion, okay? I have no facts to back this up. I have 0 facts to back this up. I just want to put that on Front Street, okay? I feel like there's some outside forces that have influenced some people in power on the inside of the U.S., and now the people on the inside of the U.S. are destroying us from within. I came across a video. I have no clue if it was true or not. I'm doubting that it was real. I'm sure there was an explanation to it, but just with everything going on, it just made me stop and think, right? I'm sure this video has an explanation to it. I'm sure, or it was fake or something. Like I said, so I just want to say that before I tell you guys what type of video I saw. I watched a video of a derailment device, allegedly a derailment device on some train tracks near a water filtration plant. Yeah. There was this big metal device that was on the tracks, and according to the person recording the video, there was like this big facility that was close, and they said that was a water filtration plant. If that was true, I have no clue. No clue. So please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, okay? Don't take what I'm saying and run with it. I have no facts to back this up. But I just with everything going on, it just gave me a cause to pause, I wonder. I really do wonder, is that real? And then you see instances like what we're watching right here. I just feel like we're being destroyed from the inside out. And it's time that we end it. It needs to stop immediately before lives are lost. Let's carry on.
Accident, which is the deadliest aviation accident in history. Both the incident at Tenerife and Austin involved two planes on a runway in dense fog. The FAA's ATC procedures manual has separation standards. Now, I know you run a big airport, so you should probably know this one here. It's got separation standards for planes using the same runway. So can you tell me what the minimum separation distance is for landing and departing airliners during the daytime, Mr. Washington?
I don't want to guess on that, Senator,
Okay.
but
All right.
it would be easy for me to find out.
Thank you. You know, the FAA is woefully behind on integrating unmanned aircraft standards, but are you familiar with the difference between Part 107 and Part 44809 when it comes to unmanned aerial standards? Unmanned like drones, are you familiar with the difference?
Yes.
Okay, you know the difference between those two, Part 44809 and Part 107? Do you know the difference there?
No, I cannot
That's okay.
spell that out for you.
Senator's time is
Yeah, thank you.
expired,
You
so-
know, the FAA can't afford to be led by someone who needs on-the-job training, and for that reason, I'm going to be opposing your nomination.
That is Biden's FAA nominee. And can you guess why I think he nominated him? Like I said, what I say is just my opinion, okay? Most of the time, I don't have a lot of facts to back this stuff up. If I do, I'll let you guys know. You know, and I try to let you guys know when it's just my opinion or when I have some facts to back something up, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. But I think he was nominated simply because he was black. And people on the left love race. Love race. They try to accuse the right of focusing too much on race and being hateful. And it's always the left that's focused on race. Always been the left. What a shame. What a shame. I think even KJP said representation matters. I think that was her that said that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I could be wrong. But representation matters? No, being able to do your job matters. Because, of course, I guarantee you, if he goes through and becomes the FAA, the leader of the FAA, right, and there's an accident that happens, guess who they're all going to blame? We all know. Trump. It's all going to lead back to Trump. Trump or the MAGA Republicans. They'll never point the finger at themselves, even though they're actually the true ones to blame. But that's my opinion. Y'all let me know yours in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.